Okay, Wilson.
Hi, Anthony.
Hi, good to see you. Okay, let's just talk. 25 years ago, my so-called life.
Yeah.
And now you were, making history then, continuing to make history with this program. I would love to know, because I know this has been a labor of love for you and something you've worked on for many years. At what point, how did this all come about? When did you start thinking about this project? When did you say, we need to do this?
Well, let's be honest. When I saw the celluloid closet back in the early 90s, it had a pretty profound effect on me. Vito Russo's celluloid closet really looked back at how harmful these inaccurate depictions of LGBTQ people were going back as far as, I think he went back as like the 20s. But it always stayed with me. And David Bender called out to me and asked me to be a part of this project. He wanted to interview me for this project, which really centered on television. And in our conversation, he and I realized that I knew a lot of the people that he wanted to interview, and that I had some institutional knowledge with my work at GLAAD for, that could be really useful to him in helping craft the project. And when your first job is Ricky Vasquez, the first gay teenager on primetime TV, and you are the first openly gay actor playing a series regular openly gay role,
right.
You realize that comes with some responsibility. And this project allows me to really highlight all of the people who risked everything in order to tell our stories.
Let's talk about your work at GLAAD, if you don't mind, because how did that all really help and shape your work into this? Because I would imagine, you're not just an actor. You're someone, spending time at GLAAD and doing all of your activism. You have more to bring to the table than just knowing people and being an out actor.
I was on the board of GLAAD in 1997. That's when my so-called life received a GLAAD award. That was my introduction. I sat on the board in 97. I've been on staff. And throughout my work with GLAAD, I got to witness firsthand what it takes in order to ensure that we are represented truthfully. And that it doesn't just happen. That it's not like networks and studios just think one day, oh, we're going to put a gay character in here. It took an organization like GLAAD to demand it, to take meetings, to call studios and networks out when they're doing it wrong. So I think that knowledge, that experience, was beneficial to me in the sense that I knew who to talk to about this project and all of the players who risked everything. That said, I also knew that when we were at a point when we were finalizing the series, I wanted the first people to see it was to be GLAAD, because I needed them to do the work that they do every day, which is helping focus a project, but also make sure that we didn't miss anything, that there was some real focus to the project. And I think the work that Nick Adams and Jeremy and Megan brought to the project is invaluable. It really took us up a few notches.
Well, I know we all were very happy to help on that. This has landed at Apple TV+, which we're so excited about. Did you find that it was still a little bit tricky to get this thing going and getting it made? Because I knew it took a while.
Yeah. I've been involved for 7 years, and
Yeah.
and David Bender had been working on it for years even before that. So, we were raising money independently. We were trying to get this done as independently as possible. When it became very clear that it was bigger than what we could do alone, that's when we went to Apple. And they brought in Ryan and Jessica, who had this vast experience as documentary filmmakers, who helped craft all of this content that we had put together with the interviews. And once they started working on it, they realized it was even bigger than what Apple had initially thought they were going to need for it, which was 4 hours, and they gave us an extra hour in order to get the whole story done. So
Thank goodness.
I know, and Apple's been a ridiculously supportive partner in all of this. And I'm not just saying that, like, it's been a great creative partnership on all of our parts. So I think we're lucky that we landed here.
You know, we're in 2020. You're working a lot. You've been in this business a long time. You have Star Trek. You've done, amazing other stuff. The kids program on Hulu, which we love, Bravest Night. Do you finally feel like you're, because I talked to Billy Porter about this, and it's like there's strides for actors. And, he's 50, and he feels like he's at the top of his game. He's been doing it like you for 25 years.
Yeah, I feel like Billy and I have been together on this for the whole time. And that's why he's like family to me. He is family to me. But, I think someone like, when I look at Billy and I think of my own journey, I think we are two people who couldn't do it any other way. I think we both realized in the process of our careers that in order for us to be good at what we do, we needed to feel like we were bringing all of ourselves to it. And there was no version of this career in which we could do that in the closet. And so coming out for us not only meant telling our stories, but highlighting all of these other people around us who were amazingly talented and needed to be seen. And so it was a big risk on both of our parts, but I think we knew and felt truly in our hearts that there would be a time when we would see the fruits of this labor. And we knew that part of that was coming out of the inspiration that we were hopefully giving to another generation.
Last question before we wrap up. What's your advice for any young actor, performer, storyteller out there who's LGBTQ that's trying to make it? Because you've made it. You've been making it.
I'll say this. I think don't start your career by editing yourself, right? Don't start your career by focusing on any perceived limitations that you think are on you. You get to set the boundaries for your career. And I would say, especially in the beginning, they are boundary-less. People are ready for your story. People are ready for you. You are enough exactly as you are. Do you need to hone your craft and get experience? Absolutely. But never lose sight of what makes you unique and what makes you special, because that's what's going to help you stand out. And I think when you start your career going, oh, they don't want to hear that, or they don't want to see that part of me, you're already losing. So bring all of that with you.